Aztecs, leading enterprise telecom brand.
Our webinar. Okay, today's webinar will be moving around our new product Omni Channel, and this time we have used a variant of this Omni Channel platform, which we call as help desk. Okay, we are going to cover all the features that we have used for this help desk. Okay, the purpose of this webinar actually to make everyone, our audience, familiarize with the questions and the queries that comes across when someone is planning to set up a help desk center for their customers. So if you are running a business, if you are owner of a business, obviously you may would like to provide a better services for your customer, and you may want think that okay, setting up a help desk will be a good idea. So what kind of questions that comes to your mind, or what kinds of answers that you are seeking, we would like to address with this webinar. If you are an implementation partner or somewhere associated with the Aztecs, I think this webinar is going to help you, because these are the questions which your customer also will be asking you in some form. So we want you to equip with the complete knowledge or the information about the product, about what is being asked in the market, or what are the trends available over here. Okay, so that's how we will start on our webinar. Okay, what you can
Pratik, sorry to disturb. Can you just speak a little louder? It's a little bit feeble.
Okay, maybe I'll try to.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to increase the
yes,
volume.
Yeah.
Let's check. Okay, coming to what you will be expecting from our webinar today is we will try to cover the points that will help you in identifying the various communication channels that you may use while running the business. So though there are a lot of communication channels, and then it's never going to be stop the invention or the development of these kind of channels, but what are the key channels that you should use to run your business? We would like to help you in identify those things. Obviously, when you identify it, how you are going to manage these channels, that becomes a question, and we would love to cover that within our seminar as well. We also would like to present a small case study that how we have successfully deployed our help desk solution, and then how our client where we have deployed it is successfully managing it. So that will help you understand the practical side of this particular product. Moving ahead, we will also try to cover that when this query comes and hits your system or help desk, how you should process it, or what is the industrial best practice to process it. So those things will be part of it. And the most important question that every business owner has, that when I am going to implement everything, then how I am going to manage the people that are working for me, or how we call it, the management of the workforce. Those are the things that we are going to cover within this 45 minutes to 1 hour session. Okay, now why we are talking about these things? Okay, because these are the things which, as I said, that every now and then you face these questions. So we are bringing this to you so that okay, you will have the answers ready, and you will be you already know how to handle these kind of queries. Okay, now those who are not from the call center background or telecommunication background, let me help you understand that what we are talking about here. So when we use the word called multi-channel help desk, let's break it into two parts, or two format, where the main component of it will be help desk. When you talk about help desk, means basically it's a physical location in any well set up organization, which is meant to provide help for the people who are seeking it. Okay, So once you stepped in that organization, you are looking for a particular department, you would like to meet to a person, you have purchased a product and then you are looking to get some service on it. This help desk actually directs you how you can get support for whatever you're seeking for. So this is where the word help desk has been formed. Now, in digital world, this customers need not to approach the help desk physically. They can use one of the communication channel and approach them, and they expect the same kind of response available. Now, this is where the digital or online help desk comes, where the call center comes into picture. Now, when we are talking about multiple channel, this means the organization is equipped to offer the same help using multiple communication channels. Okay, so all the customer or the person who are looking for these kind of answers, they can approach the organization using any of the channels and they get these help. This is why multi-channel help desk systems were important nowadays. Now, being an organization, when you think that the stage will come where you have to be ready to use that for your organization, or you would like to implement for yourself. So I will say that there are a few points that where we think, or based on our experience and interaction with the company, we think they are ready for adoption of a multi-channel help desk. Okay, so if you as a company has a huge customer base, this means you cannot control what each customer is going to use to approach you. That's where you really should be ready, or you should be planning to move to having a multi-channel solution. So if your customer base is huge, you should move here. Or point two will be in the same line, saying that if you are planning to increase your customer base to that level, so every organization has this growth plan. If you're planning soon enough that, okay, you should be handling a huge customer base, you should be growing in that manner, obviously you need a multi-channel help desk where you have to, you should be ready to offer the help to your customer. The third point will be maybe my favorite, that when company would like to provide a seamless brand experience to their customers throughout multiple channels, then this kind of platform comes into picture. So let us say an organization, the customer can approach them from multiple channels, and organization is free to answer them from those channels. Means they need not to integrate them. Everyone can use these channels for free. For example, WhatsApp, Facebook, they are free to use, and organization actually can respond back using these free tools. But when the question comes that whether the customer is actually getting that brand experience, then you need a formalized platform or a software where you will have a standards how to respond to the customers, and you can interact with that. Next, also when we are talking about data collection, see, data is becoming now key to make any decision. So if you want to have the data, that is where this kind of formal system comes up to picture. So now you approach any call center, and the first thing you hear is your call may be recording for the quality purpose. So they collect the data, they help to improvise their own system, how they can support their customer better. These all things are coming to picture, and obviously monitoring that they want to know what their team is doing. Then a formal system comes into picture, and that is where these were the points where the need of these kind of systems provided. Okay, this brings us to our first section, where we would like to answer our title question. Where does a company need a multi-channel help desk, or do you need a multi-channel help desk? So in order to answer that, means again, I will say that this question can be answered by considering two factors. The factor number one is your existing customer, and factor number two is the customer that you are planning to acquire. So obviously your business will move around your customers. So my answers also would be moving around that customer segment. So do you need a multi-channel help desk that your customers only can answer? So let us consider the existing customer first. If you have an existing customer set most probably you have to do a small internal survey, collect data, find out how they are approaching you. And if they are using multiple channels, we also have to figure out, are you able to provide that seamless brand experience that we covered in our last slide to your customers? So if customers are using multiple channels, yes, you need a multi-channel helper system. And also, more importantly, are you willing to provide that branding experience to your customer? You have to go for a formalized system that we were talking about. Then coming to the new customer, that every company talk about that, okay, they have to grow, they have to bring in more customer. When we talk about the new customer, we have to go by the market steps. That is what the market wants, what trend is all about. So we also, for to answer this section, we went to the market trend and we try to collect certain facts and figures that what exactly are available when someone study the market. And the data that we found out was very interesting and we would love to share it with you. So the surveys, one of the known survey platform, the Gartner tool, okay, they say that whenever there is a support inquiry that is coming through the social media and companies try to ignore those inquiries, the churn rate become more than 15%. So which is huge. Okay, so the customer who is already suffering problem from the product and he tries to approach the company using social media channels, not the mainstream channel that we were talking about, and the companies ignore those channels, again they are not very happy with this kind of behavior of the company. They try to move on. Okay, something like New Voice Video clearly says that phone remains the maximum or most important section for covering support interaction or sales interaction. So you cannot avoid something which is from the or came from the telephone or business telephony solution. Okay. We also move to the chatting system, the basic chat system, which is available on the website. You can see that. So if there is a chat available, the buying probability of the customer increases by 38%. Now, this is basic chat where the customer try to interact and you try to answer that query. When we are talking about nowadays tools, we are talking about chat, which is a robot based. This means they will predict the question, customer buying behavior, and answers it. They use NLP, natural learning processes. They use machine learning, artificial intelligence, and they try to address the query when the customer is asking, depending on their past buying behavior or categorizing that customer. This adds on to this probability. This adds on to the probability of the customer who are buying, or other way around, I can say that, okay, it adds to the probability to sell a product by the organization. Okay, similarly, if you are seeing this data, what we are trying to present here is this data is jumping from one platform to another. This means no one is saying that, okay, you use one channel and then, okay, you are done with supporting your customer. No, the customer is free to use any channel available into the market. That's why being a service provider, it becomes your responsibility to be available on those channels. And that is where things like help desk or specifically multi-channel help desk comes into picture. And that's where we also try to support our customers, and that most probably answers the questions or the title questions that we have kept. That are you looking for the multi-channel help desk or your company needs it? So the answer would be like that. You cannot afford to ignore it. In case you are planning to continue with your organization or grow with the time, you cannot afford to ignore it. Okay. This brings us to second section of our webinar, which includes the case studies that we were talking about. So what happened is, recently we have implemented a Omni Channel setup, the help desk setup for a luxury resort here in India. Okay, and because they've been with us for very long, and then they were privileged clients, we get time to interact with them, understand their problem, and then provide them a right solution. So that is why we know in-depth problem, and then how we have approached, and we are like to present the overview of it. Obviously, not we are not going to get into detail, but an overview that what has happened. We'd like to provide you about this latest development or deployment from the Aztecs. So what exactly happening with this luxury resort in India? They are getting their traffic, the business traffic, from social media channels itself. This means they are doing a lot of online postings. They are running a lot of online advertisement on multiple channels that includes Instagram, Twitter, Facebook mainly, and they try to collect those data. Or you can also say that their customers are more this social media savvy. So their customers are available on the social media. They would like to see some images before making a booking to these kind of resorts. And when they find some glamorous images, obviously they do the booking. So now these kind of trends are available. So you can see on the right, we also have tried to cover a screenshot that how these ads looks when you are browsing through your social media platform. So if you are going through Facebook and looking for a keyword, something like resorts and somewhere this kind of ads comes. Now these kind of ads actually promote you to communicate with the service provider from that medium itself. So if you are using a Facebook, they will push you or they will encourage you to use Facebook Messenger as the communication tool. Similarly, Twitter means you can use some hashtags and write it over there, and they have direct messages also. So they use customer to they encourage customer to use their platform and communicate, and this becomes one of the reason for people, the organizations to get worried, because now multiple source, which all are important, are getting them the interactions or lead, and it becomes very hard for them to manage it. Okay, so what exactly happens here is that the communication that comes from one source hits on that Omni Channel platform that we will be talking about. Now, from here onwards, how Omni Channel platform takes over, that I will try to explain you with a small architecture, and then we'll go to the demo part. Okay. So what is happening is, be it Facebook, Twitter, the Instagram or WhatsApp chat, including our regular phone call, we collect all the information and then we pass to a centralized database where the customer profile becomes the center of it. Okay. So customer profile, when we are talking about, what we say is our system is designed such a way the center of the information is the customer profile, their name, addresses, and different information that companies would like to keep. And then when the communication comes from one channel, we keep it associated with that channel. So you can say that, okay, maybe day one, there is a set of messages which is coming in, that is from the customer to the organization. And again, because the organization has to respond back to the communication goes out from this channel. When this is happening, we collect that data and link it with the customer profile. Again, this can happen because this is the open chatting platform, and this can happen that customer can approach you some another day. Again, you will be responding it, and this can keep on going because the customer is now aware about your communication platform. So we link all the messages with the customer profile. Thereafter, we also give provision for this user who interacts with the customer to club the interaction into one more packed format, which we call as tickets, which is more like action point. So over the period of time, whatever is discussed around the one topic can be clubbed together and they can call it ticket. And obviously, if there is an interaction about another topic, it can be clubbed together and called as a ticket. And this ticket can be now something which people can process. So when we were talking an example of the resort, these are the booking communication. So a ticket is about a booking and it can have multiple communication spread it over days. So this is how we are collecting the data and managing into our system. So what just happened here is, we'll take an example of a customer. Let's give him a name, Simon. Okay. This Simon Matthew tries to interact with the resort. Okay. Maybe on September 1st, he used this ad which was running on Facebook. He clicked that connect with the resort, and then he started interacting with the resort that he would like to know about the availability of a suite or room for a particular date. Resort also has to respond back saying that, okay, these are the things which are available. Mr. Simon Matthew was happy to inquire it, and that communication stopped over there itself. Now, when Simon is having details about the resort, maybe the next day he can directly use the WhatsApp number of the resort and send more information saying that, okay, I would like to know certain images or the pricing information. Directly they can ask from the resort, and then obviously, because the question is asked on the Facebook, this resort again has to respond back using the same communication dialog. So the first communication came from Facebook, resort has to respond from Facebook. Second communication came from WhatsApp, resort has to respond from WhatsApp. It goes on that maybe when the booking confirmation has to be done, Mr. Simon picked a phone call and called the resort directly. So again, Mr. Simon is jumping from one channel to another channel. And at the end, what happened is he visited the resort, he completed his holidays over there. When this resort has to send the invoice to Mr. Simon, now this time resort is choosing a new channel, which is email, saying that, okay, we will send the invoice using this email. The reason of bringing this example is, it's a classic example where more than one channel is been used only for one customer. So from Facebook, we jump to WhatsApp, then we jump to phone call, and then we jump to email. Now imagine that functional resort, which is handling these kind of customer on day-to-day basis. Maybe 100 of these customers are there, and even these 4 communication channels are included, but these 4 communication channels can be approached in any permutation. That is, someone can call first and then WhatsApp later. It becomes extremely difficult for an entity like that resort to manage these data. So what we are offering them, that is in front of you now. So I just come out from this particular presentation, and let me share my screen to you. So hopefully you can see my screen here. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Now what is happening in this screen, I logged in as a user, okay, and I can go to menu and I can see there is a module which says contact, and this contact module has list of all my existing customer. Any new customer comes, I will add over here, okay, I can do that, but it has all list of existing customer. Now going back to the presentation that we were showing you about sample name Simon Matthew, the moment I go to this Simon Matthew section, I can see some details about him. So you can see that how beautifully it is designed, that, okay, you will have the profile details. You can have all those customer-centric information that we were talking about, that addresses, the contact details, their buying behavior. You will have the information that you have captured using any possible channel which is active into the system. So if he is using WhatsApp, you have information available here. Okay. you have a section called tickets where we have clubbed. So if you remember our previous slides, we have shown that, okay, how we club these informations into more actionable tasks. So we have tickets here, and you can go to any particular ticket and still find the communication which is specific to that ticket. So you have some, let us say 48 messengers available, but when you come to this ticket, okay, ticket will filter out that, okay, 2 messages were made only with this ticket, others were maybe out of this ticket. The moment you will go to a section named all, you can see that everything that is come and went out in the order of the date when it has come out. So, okay, the customer first tried to increase with the incoming Facebook Messenger. Company responded with the Facebook Messenger. Then the list of WhatsApp interaction has done. The calls have been made. So everything is information is available. All the information individually also available with this tool section. And when we were talking about that, yeah, now the company or the resort would like to send the email to the client. Okay, what they have to do, they again use the same platform to send an email. Okay, so because the information is already available into the system. So the system is designed completely to handle all the communication, and this ticket part is actually used to process it. So what we did here is all the communication from the customer we collected into the ticket section. If this is not being clear to you, let me take you to another demo where I will tell you how these things are happening, but from the user point of view, or this support executive, help desk executive point of view, that how they are supporting and still the data is available. So this support executive, currently I have logged in with someone named demo user, and that he is available anywhere on the platform. Now on this platform, on the top right section, there is a button which says there is no conversation available. This means no one has approached this organization as of now. But what if someone says that, okay, he has a query and he will be using one of the tools? Maybe let us say for this example, I'll ask a user to use the Facebook and then approach it. So I'm just writing an arbitrary question. Okay. And I posted a question on the Facebook page. Okay. Asking that do you have some rooms available for the coming weekend because it's a resort. Now, if you see my top right corner, which was earlier in red color, clearly says that, okay, there is a new conversation available for you. It is indicating me that there is a new conversation available for me or the user. It could be possible there are more than one user like me. If that is there, if there are more than one user, everyone gets this get new conversation. And those who click it first will be interacting with the customer. Those who couldn't click are available for getting new conversation, and then they can do it. There can be another way of saying this is there can be 10 other conversation from the customer side at the same time. If that happens, again, same thing will happen, that get new conversation, you will get as a button. When you click or when a user click this get new conversation button, the oldest conversation comes to him. So this means none of the customer has to wait for longer than usual to get attended. And this is how the system is designed. Now, being a demo user or the help desk executive, all I have to do is to click this get conversation button. Now what will happen? It showed me, okay, this is the customer. Okay, the customer name. It says me what platform it is, and then suddenly it is telling me a question that customer is asking. So as I said, the customer is free to use any particular tool, but agent, by sitting on our Omni Channel help desk, can get that question and respond to the question by typing it over here. Okay, so because of time permit, I'll just write it this way only. Otherwise, you can understand the chat can go out and then the customer is supposed to respond back, and this will be never ending. But what is happening here for this chat, the time has started, the conversation has started. Okay. And when this agent feels that, okay, he has satisfied the customer, he can end this conversation by clicking on this end conversation button. Now, when he clicks on this end conversation button, a new pop-up window opens. We call that okay, action window, where we are actually asking this support executive, what do you want to do with this conversation? So it's an action which he would like to take it. Okay. When I click on this action, it opens three options for the support executive. First option says assign this ticket to someone. So again, I'm taking a step back. The query was, do you have any availability of the room for this weekend? So maybe I would like to assign it to a sales representative. If the help desk was designed for a product or support company, obviously it will go to an engineer. So every company can adapt it based on their flows. Here what we have, obviously a room executive, I can go ahead and assign it to that particular sales executive, and I can select their name. So let us say this T Chetan we have selected. We can select any name that they want, that okay, they are looking for the room booking, and maybe date and time we have given, whatever description we got, and we can click on this send button. The information can go to our executive named T Chetan. This is as simple as this. Means the work or the task of this help desk executive is over here, and he is ready to take the new conversation. Second option that we were seeing in the action part, okay, we have something called merge ticket. That is, what if this conversation is not the first conversation from this customer, he is trying to follow up on an existing open ticket. In this case, if the merge ticket is selected, what we will do in the system, we'll open all the cases or all the tickets linked to this customer's profile. So in case any things which is already open, we will show that ticket, and the user or the help desk executive is free to merge the conversation with that ticket. Okay, as simple as this. Last but not the least, for more generic queries, we talk about the complete ticket button. If you click on complete ticket button, maybe it will openly ask you, how do you would like to dispose it? So more basic questions or simple inquiry based questions can be handled by the help desk executive himself. He can close the ticket and then move on. So for this example, what we are doing is we are merging the ticket to an existing platform, and then this is done. So now you can see that the button again changed to no conversation. This means this executive is again available for taking new chat or new conversation from whichever tools are there. So if you go to the customer again, this is how we were talking about. Any conversation comes, we will take you to that platform, be it SMS, email, WhatsApp, or the messenger. You will be there and you can respond. You can see that in WhatsApp, we can reply through the images also. Okay, it is available. Now, same system can be integrated with your IP telephony as well. So PBX, Dana was talking earlier about any IP telephony is there, we can integrate with that IP telephony itself. So you have the customer database available for you, and suddenly what happened? A call lands about this customer into your system. So what you are doing is the customer profile opens in front of the agent. Agent does not spend time or waste time asking, may I know your name, number, or where you are calling from. Agent can see the profile even before he's speaking to the customer, saying, hello, Mr. Simon Matthew, how can we serve today? A more personalized conversation. And let this Simon Matthew ask about his previous booking or his last conversation, or he is not happy with the last agent he has interacted. Everything is available for this agent just a single click away. So this is the beauty of the Omni Channel help desk which we have created. Okay, this is about the level 1 executive, or we call it help desk executive. Let's talk about the executive whom we are assigning the tickets. We call them level 2 executive. So we can simply go to menu and then our module called ticket. When we click over that ticket, this is how it will look like. So, okay, system can have hundreds of tickets available based on the query coming in, going out. But the executive, so the executive we choose was T Chetan for some reason. Okay, when the executive logs in, the level 2 executives, he need not to worry about those hundreds of tickets. He directly, when he sees the list of tickets which is assigned to him, he says that, okay, what are the tickets which he has to attend, where he has to do the sales, surveys, or do the booking of the resort. And he can go ahead and process that ticket. So if you see, the beauty of the system is, same system can be utilized by L1 people to take the conversation, L2 people to complete the task. Okay, and process these tickets, and then whatever the status they would like to do it, they'll do it and save it again. So L2 team will process the ticket. And after this, in few minutes, I am going to show you the same system again can be utilized by the admin people, the monitoring people, to completely monitor their teams and pull out the report. So one system for all. This is how Omni Channel will work. Let us come back to our presentation. Okay, so when this scenario happens, we can clearly have understood that, okay, how the complete conversation can be maintained and designed. So if we'll try to now come back to our the way we are presenting this webinar is, we are trying to associate those questions that comes to mind, comes to the business owners who are trying to implement it. Let us list out the questions that this demo has presented. So yes, you can manage your data or the customer data, because we are maintaining complete customer profile into the system. Again, we are talking about what happened to the customer queries. So yeah, system is capable of managing all the customer queries, converting into the ticket. And ticket can be considered more as task. You can assign the tickets, you can get the feedback on each ticket, you can know the status of each ticket, and obviously you can know who is handling those tickets. Those informations can be connected. Also, if you have something like that, how customer queries that is coming from the multi-channels can be managed. So we also have said that, okay, one ticket when we create, this ticket can actually link with the multiple communication coming from the multi-channels. Okay, so everything is being addressed with this demo. Okay, moving ahead with this, okay, we are coming to our next section of reports. As I said, that L1 or the level 1 executive we covered, level 2 executives we covered, and now we are talking about the people who are going to monitor the team, the system, or the company itself. That will be the part of the report section. Okay. This report section actually is divided into 3 modules or 3 different sections that we are talking about. First of this, it's called as the dashboard reporting. This is mainly used by the team leaders or the floor managers. Their job is to make sure that, okay, the day-to-day process is happening smoothly. The teams are working fine. All the queries which is coming to the organization has been addressed properly. So that is where dashboard reports will be covered. Traffic reports will try to cover all your incoming communications load. So, okay, have you choose the right tool? Is right resources appointed for managing the right channel? Do you have to reshuffle your team? All these things come into traffic report. And third is the ticketing report, where we are saying that, okay, when the customer issue hits your help desk system, how it's been taken care then onward. Means, do you need to focus more? Are your customers getting satisfied? Are you progressing with this closing of the ticket? Everything will be coming under this part. Okay, that will be showing in the next few slides. Okay. Coming to the first section, dashboard reporting. As I said, that it is mainly meant for the people who do day-to-day monitoring. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to show you each section here, and as per our flow, we are going to show you the questions it addresses. I will explain you the report and show you some questions which is explicit, so you will completely able to connect with the report. Okay, first section tells us about the active channel for this organization. So what are the channels which are active? And most importantly, what are the activities which is happening within this active channels? So you can see that it tells me that, okay, for today, how many conversations we have received, how many conversations is attended, and most importantly, how many conversations yet to attend. So we use something for the queue. That, okay, so many conversations or so many customers are waiting to be attended. This means if any channel where too many people are available, I think floor manager should be made aware of. He should take that resource to focus on that particular channel so that he can be he can attend those customers. Okay. Then we also talk about that. Any channel which has end up creating a new customer. So all these informations that flow manager should know to make sure that load which is coming and hitting the support center is well managed. Now, okay, from this channel, let's come to how the team is interacting with these channels. So now when we talk about the second section of this report, it tells you clearly about how team has interacted. Has team able to resolve some queries? How many queries are again open per team? And do you as a manager need to reshuffle your team? Maybe you are saying that, okay, there are too many people in the call to answer, but less people in the Facebook, where your customer is approaching you more from the Facebook chat. So all these informations can be addressed from here, or maybe it is momentary. Means maybe regularly you are getting more calls, but for some reasons, this hour you need more focus on social media. It can be more in getting information from this particular section of the report. Okay, moving ahead. In case you would like to know that, okay, how your customer choose this thing, or what is your customer choice, maybe for approaching you, or similarly, what is your employee's choice, you can go ahead with our incoming and outgoing report section. So incoming clearly says that, okay, this is the choice of your customer, this is how they prefer. Same way, you cannot ignore how your employees choose a particular channel, because they find out by doing this or interacting regularly with your customer that, okay, which channels actually satisfies your customer faster, which channel is required to send the information together. Maybe the example says invoice has to be sent through the email because attachment can be done easily over there. So you cannot ignore those kind of communication channels. Your activity goes, and last but not the least, in the bottom, if you see, a summary of user happens again for the manager to see. So what time the user is logging in, what time he has spent into the organization, how many conversations they have attended, how many tickets they have closed. All information to run this day-to-day query is available using this dashboard report for us. Okay. Let's move to the traffic report, where we're talking about the traffic or the communication messages that hits your support center. Now, this traffic report, what we are going to do is we'll take all the traffic for the period of time that you will choose, that is start date and end date, and we will display them across the dates. So whatever period you have changed, in that dates, how the interaction has hit your organization. So it will give you information, something like, let us say, if you are putting a new post on your social media, how these interaction or inquiries reacts to these new posts. Is it going down? Is it going up? Or maybe some channel it is going higher than the other. All these things you can figure out by using these kind of tools. So if we again come to some questions, specifically that this particular graph answers, that is, we will create how different marketing activities are affecting your marketing channel. That is, how maybe a post is doing, how a blog is working. Also, it can talk to you about that what kind of campaign people like on different channels. Maybe you can talk about a discount is more preferred on Facebook and Insta, whereas more intellectual post is preferred on LinkedIn. So you can find out those things from these reports. Also, we are talking about when you in future you try to design any approach, you can also use this as the historical data to find out that, okay, what kind of approach is best suited for what channel. Again, maybe a video works well with the Facebook, image works well with the Instagram. All these things can be easily understood when you have these kind of reports available. In next report, what we did exactly is same traffic which we earlier showed you. This time we have displayed it across the weekdays. That is not by the date, but weekdays. Now, this actually gives you a different angle or different kind of insight where which can help you in planning your resources. This means if you look very closely to this report that is collected for the resort where we have implemented our solution, it clearly tells us that, okay, maybe for as long as we are moving towards the weekend, the booking increases. Okay, so that is usual. They have to hire few people to address those queries, but they cannot ignore Saturdays, because their Saturdays is equally important as their Tuesdays, at least for one of the channel, which is WhatsApp, may not be for Facebook. Now, these kind of insight can be easily missed if you do not have the report. But with these reports, you can easily say that, okay, now where I have to plan my resources. Do I have to have weekend shifts available? Do I actually need full-time resources? Or maybe how distribution of these resources can be done. That is, someone will handle Facebook alone or someone will handle WhatsApp alone. All these things can be done, again, if you have complete information available. One more angle, we are providing it, same information, but this time throughout the number of hours. Okay, and what it is doing, it again helping me in analyzing that, again, other than my regular 9 to 5 shifts, there are more peaks available which I need to address. So I don't need an employee for running throughout the night shift. You can see that, okay, anything before 6 o'clock or anything after 11 p.m. Can be handled. But there are early shifts and late shifts which has to be handled properly. Again, I'm talking about specifically that example where we have implemented the resort, how it is working. Every business, it works differently, and obviously that every business has to figure it out on its own. We also have some graphs which tells you that how or which channel is taking time to respond to your customer. So you can say that, okay, first graph talks about how soon you respond to the customer's first message. Second graph tells about that entire length of this conversation, the message, how much average time it takes. So SMS takes longer than WhatsApp, which is quite understandable. But what information it tells you that, okay, what are the slow and what are the fast channels that you have? Which are the channels which is more effective? Maybe something is slow, but make sure that it conveys your message to the customer. What is your average time to process an interaction? So all these informations are made available when you have these information and to glance on. Okay. From this traffic report, now let's us move to the ticket report. That is what we said, that, okay, traffic is mostly the messages and tickets are the action points which we convert or we assign it to someone to handle. Maybe for the companies it is sales, it is support queries. So when the tickets happens, what we present, you can see that on the top right corner we have something where user is allowed to choose the date range, the start date and the end date. And based on that, we will show them an overview, a complete overview of how their tickets are being processed. So how many tickets they have created within the particular period of time, what is their average ticket created per day, what is per channel contribution for every ticket. All these things are available. Now these kind of information actually tells you that if you compare between two date ranges, that whether you have progressed, whether your day is becoming better than earlier, is introduction of some kind of training really improves you. If you take one approach to help the customer, it improves the quality of you addressing the customer. All these things actually can be compared when you have these screens available for you to understand. Okay. Again, we are coming to one more section, maybe the last section in our group, where we try to present all the data in terms of graphical format for this particular resort, where we were showing that, okay, if the booking is done, by which executive maximum bookings are being taken care. Similarly, if the messages are coming or the interactions are coming, under which categories these interactions are coming more. And similarly, last but not least, if you see that what are the source of these messages. So in the purpose or the main motive of to show you this display is to say that with this omni-channel help desk, we also try to give you a tool which includes your data analytics, data visualization, and data filtering. So we are offering an inbuilt business intelligence tool within our system. Okay, that brings to the end of my today's webinar. So if you say that how I conclude it, I'll say in one sentence saying that Aztec's Omni Channel actually is designed to answer all your day-to-day operational queries. So this is how it is developed. Okay, hope you understand the concept behind presenting this webinar. Hope you understand the concept of each graph that we have bring into the webinar. Thank you thank you for being a wonderful audience. Now I am keeping this floor open for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pratik, for a wonderful presentations and taking us through how the Omni Channel help the organizations for enhancing their support system. Now, moving on to our question and answer sessions, we have a few questions coming up from the participants. Before that, I would like to remind all the participants, like if you have any queries, you can just drop to our chat box, or you can just raise your hand, or you can unmute and ask the questions. So the first question has come from Mr. Vinesh. The question is, what all channels can be integrated with this system as of now?
Okay. I think it's a good question. So we have successfully done with IP telephony, email, SMS, in case SMS gateways are available. We in social media, we have covered the complete Facebook family. So if you are aware, Facebook family includes Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and we also have Instagram, that is a part of Facebook now. So all three are covered. Twitter has two different variants. One is the direct message, and one which is on the Facebook post itself, which comes with the hashtags. Both are covered. Recently, we're talking about the chat. So I think last month itself we have a successful meeting with IBM Watson. IBM Watson is again one of the leaders in AI chat, if you are aware. So it allows you to interact with on the website. You don't need anyone on the backend. That is, you don't need a human on the backend. And the chat learns from the questions and that in answers on its own. And there is a stage when it says that, okay, chat cannot satisfy the customer. At the time, it creates the ticket automatically into our system. And we can say, proudly say that after our last month interaction with IBM Watson, we can successfully deliver that as well. So these are the channels which we are confident that we can deliver. However, in case there are channels that customer would like to integrate because maybe that is more popular in their country or whatever reason, I think it is matter of integration the API with our system. Our system is based on open API concept. So in case that channel is allowing us to integrate, we can definitely integrate.
Okay, thank you, Pratik. Now the next is second question is, can it also be integrated with third-party IPPBX?
I think the answer lies same in the previous statement that I made. If the third-party PBX is allowing us to utilize their API, yeah, definitely we can do that.
Yeah, thank you. Moving on to the next questions. The next question is come from Mr. Ong. This CRM is support on Viper.
I think yes, Mr. Ong, we have actually experimented that with Viber. There is a slight problem that we are facing with Viber is Viber do not provides the API to anyone. Those who has the business account in Viber, they only have to approach the Viber and take the Viber support and take the API. So in case you have the business account with Viber, you can take the API and definitely we can integrate it with us.
Okay, I hope Mr. Ong, your query has been clear. If you have any other further questions, you can unmute yourself. Okay, next to the going to the next question is coming from Mr. Imyonia Nawazato. His question is the Omni Channel help desk an independent solution? If yes, integratable with a third part IPPBX? I think it's the same question.
I think it's the same question which earlier also we answered. Yes, it is independent solution, and yes, it is capable of integration with any third party.
Yeah. Next question is coming from Mr. Dango. Is this integrated channel compatible with all the operating systems like Android, Apple, etc.?
Okay, I believe your question is our Omni Channel is compatible with all the operating system. So to answer that, actually we have a web-based system. It is not the system has to be integrated. In case you are accessing it through the web base, any web browser will work over there. So it is in is what operating system that you are using as a system.
Okay. I hope Mr. Dango, your query has been answered. You have any other clarification? You can unmute and ask.
I think that's sufficient.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think I have seen Mr. Mohammed raising the hand. Mr. Mohammed, if you have any queries, you can unmute and ask the question. Okay. I think we have almost covered all the questions. If anybody has any further questions, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can just put it in the chat box. We have a few minutes left before we, Mr. Edineken, you can unmute and ask questions.
I think earlier
hello.
Seen,
Please.
My question is that here in my area, me and my team, we are having some network issue. In particular, I was just able to come in. I don't know, maybe if we can have the recorded of the seminar, or we can have access to the slide software. Slide copy, so that we too can go through and study it properly, which along with my team member.
Sure, Mr. Edineken, after the presentation, we'll be sharing you the recording link along with the presentations. You can watch them afterwards if you have missed out the part of the sessions or full sessions.
All right.
Yeah. The next question has come from Mr. Ebenezer Opong. Can the Omni Channel help desk be defined by agent to perform automatic chats?
Okay. if we'll understand, the Omni Channel here is allowing integrating the channels, right? So when you are talking about the calls, we are integrating a PBX. When you are talking about the Facebook chat, again, the Facebook tool itself be integrated. So with Omni Channel, sorry.
Yes, Mr. Rajnika. Yeah, please, please go ahead, Pratik.
Okay. So with Omni Channel, what we are doing, we are integrating anything that you have. So if you are talking about automatic chats or AI-enabled chats, I think those tools are already there. What we are doing is, because when you are going to set up the organization, you cannot hire people to do activities separately. You need one platform for them. So we are bringing that platform that, okay, chat can be done from same screen, calls can be attended from the same screen, emails can be answered from the same screen. So we do not have inbuilt chat system, but if there is an automatic chatting system, we can inbuild. That is where I gave the example of Watson, IBM-based Watson, which is a known tool and maybe doing among the top 3 automatic chat systems.
Okay. I hope, Mr. Opong, your query has been answered. If you have any further query, you can unmute and ask.
Yes, I got it right.
Yeah. So, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Opong. Okay, so this comes to an end of our question and answer sessions. And thank you so much, all the participants, for joining these sessions. And we will be coming back next month with another new exciting topic on this webinar. We will be sharing you the recording and the slides after these presentations. So till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.